Oftentimes, people don't seem to understand how profitable farming can be. You just have to know what crops make the most money. Just like any other industry, if you just put some time into the research, you can easily excel. So if you're looking to dig your hands into farming, you've come to the right place, because today we're going to be looking at some of the craziest things you can grow to become rich from farming. At 10, we have wheat farming. Surprised? We're almost certain that you'd be expecting a much fancier crop than wheat to be on this list, but you see, the thing is that wheat is the most commonly used cereal grain. Wheat has a lot of industrial value to it, which makes it easy for farmers to jack up the price. You will rarely ever see regular people buying wheat. It's mostly companies that make flour or cereals that purchase wheat. Wheat also has a great profit turnover compared to other grains. The crop doesn't require a lot of maintenance. It usually takes 6 to 7 months to grow, which makes wheat production possible year-round. This means, according to the USDA, a wheat farmer can make a profit of about $170 per acre of wheat. To put that into perspective, the average farmland in the USA is about 444 acres. If a farmer even plants wheat on 100 acres of wheat, they could easily turn it about $17,000 in profit. Next, corn farming. Good old corn. The situation with corn is very similar to that of wheat. It can be grown easily and it has a great industrial value, which makes it very profitable. But the one thing that makes corn better than wheat is that there is a bigger market for it. Corn is also commonly sold as a vegetable, which allows farmers to sell to a much more diverse market. Another thing that makes corn a great thing to grow is that it is a double crop. What's a double crop, you may be asking? Well, in farming, double cropping simply means when farmers grow two different crops on the same land. It is common practice to harvest a wheat crop early in the summer and then plant something like corn or soybeans on that land for harvest in the fall. The reason dual crop farming is so popular among farmers is that it completely optimizes the use of resources while maximizing year-round production. According to research, farmers can make a whopping $740 per acre of corn. Up next, herb gardening. Okay, but what about the people who don't have hundreds of acres of land? Do they just give up on their dream of farming? Don't worry, we have you covered. Did you know that you can start a small-scale herb farm right out of your home? And no, we're not talking about that herb yet. Growing herbs is not only highly profitable, but it's also fun. It's like taking care of little green pets. With people opening up to more and more flavors and spices, it's never been easier to sell fresh herbs. You'd be surprised at how many herbs you can grow and how much money they make you. Basil sits at the top of that list when it comes to homegrown herbs. According to herb farmers, you'll be surprised to see how fast fresh basil can sell out. Other profitable herbs that can be easily grown are chives, oregano, cilantro, and lavender. Next, gourmet mushroom farming. With plant-based diets being all the rage these days, the mushroom sales are at an all-time high since they are an increased source of protein, and the fact that they taste great can help too. Mushrooms are incredibly easy to grow. They can grow in small, cramped, and dark places with ease. They can almost grow in any environment with very little resources. This drives down their production costs, making the profit margin much higher. Growing gourmet mushrooms such as oysters and shiitake can make you the most profit. They can be grown indoors, and it only takes about 6 to 7 weeks to grow and harvest most kinds of mushrooms. Mushroom farmers can harvest an average of 25 pounds of produce per square foot every year and turn over about $12 per pound. Most mushroom farmers prefer to sell directly to their customers at farmers markets, but some also sell to local restaurants and grocery stores. Now we have fish farming. We know what you must be thinking. You can farm fish? Well, yes, you can, and it's super profitable. If you have a decent amount of free land, this might just be the thing for you. It's always better to have a body of water like a pond or something for things like this, but plastic or glass tanks work just as well. But fish farming does require a lot of effort. First, you'll need to have first-hand knowledge about raising fish. You'll also need to determine what sort of fish you can raise in your environment. Fish such as tilapia, cod, and catfish are a great option since they're very popular among buyers and are easy to raise. If you can get a hang of fish farming, you can grow your business by introducing aquaponics, which basically means growing plants in water. You can do this in the same tank where you raise your fish. Not only will this be an additional income, but your fish will also grow up to be healthier. If done right, the water plants alone can make you upwards of $25,000 a year. And don't even get us started on fish prices these days. At number 5, bee farming. First fish, now bees. What's going on? Beekeeping farming is great for people who have nice gardens. There are a lot of bee products like beeswax, bee pollen, royal jelly, and of course, the star of the show, honey. Honey on its own can turn in a profit of $500 per hive. Beekeeping is one of the most underrated ways of making money if you ask us. The wide variety of byproducts that you can get from bees makes beekeeping an almost no-waste business. Having a bee farm can also help you grow flowers or herbs in your garden since bees will pollinate the crops, which in turn yields much healthier crops. Next up, cannabis farming. If you have the space and live in an area where growing cannabis is legal, then starting your own cannabis farm is a great idea. Growing cannabis is not very labor intensive, but it can churn in quite the profit. Depending on what quality of cannabis you grow, you can make upwards of $8 to $10 per gram. Since cannabis has both recreational and medicinal uses, it provides a great opportunity for farmers to sell to a large and diverse market. Next, a tea garden. This is also very similar to herbal gardening, but it's great for cities and urban areas. You can start this sort of garden from a small balcony or something of that sort. What most tea gardeners do is that they partner up with small tea and coffee shops and supply them with fresh herbs. This is a great business model since it's stable and ensures that your product will be bought. You can also grind tea leaves and sell them under your own label. And with people's rising consciousness about health, now is the perfect time to jump into this market. Most tea gardeners report that the demand for their products has increased since fresh herb teas started to gain traction on the internet a few years ago. You can also start making essential oils from the leftover tea leaves. Next at number 2, microgreens farming. Microgreens are also called baby vegetables. They're usually harvested when they're around 10 to 14 days old and 1 to 3 inches in size. These tiny vegetables are a great gimmick that makes them easier to sell. They don't require a lot of effort and can be easily grown at home. You can partner up with local restaurants since they use baby vegetables for garnishing. Restaurants will buy these baby vegetables for about $50 per pound. The most common micro vegetables are baby carrots, baby corn, and baby artichokes. Most of these products can be grown in most environments in small pots. And finally, crypto farming. Probably the weirdest kind of farming since it's not only bad for the environment, but also like the least natural thing ever. When you think of farming, you think of green fields with birds and insects, not supercomputers and clusters of wires, but hey, it's a great way to make money. There's no hiding the fact of how big cryptocurrency is, and by the looks of it, it's only going to get bigger in the future. Unlike other farms, you're not looking to produce a crop to sell immediately. With crypto farming, the goal is to keep growing your crypto wallet and sell when the price suits you. With crypto farming, you're basically farming money. A person who successfully farmed a single block of Bitcoin in 2010 and is still holding on to it has about $500,000 worth of crypto sitting in their wallet. And with the way trends are going, it's still not too late to set up your own crypto farm. High profits are almost certain. That's a wrap for this video. Which entry on this list did you find most surprising? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.